Hey folks, this guy coming to you once again on Movember, and today I'm going to talk about depression and suicide. So it's going to get real. So I'm taking the captain's hat off, I'm taking the glasses off because, yeah, I usually use characters to try and, it helps me deal with anxiety and all that kind of stuff. So most people don't get to see the real me. This is usually the real me. Actually, I'm going to take the jacket off too because it's bloody hot. But I'm going to talk to you about my own experience with depression and suicide because this is something very real, something that is like, once again, men's mental health, which one thing that is really starting to annoy me is the fact that the moment you put the word men in front of mental health, everyone shuts off and tells you to stop being a pussy, tells you to walk it off, and all that kind of thing. And that is not the right thing to do, especially if someone is suffering from depression, because that is just going to push them over the edge. Right, so with my own depression, which I've been dealing with since I was a teenager, it all started at high school, and I was at an all boys Catholic school. We don't need to know any names, and I was doing music and drama at a school that was all about sports and academic. So already I was bottom of the ladder, and so there was the name calling, there was the bullying, there was all of that, which at first I was able to wash off, just shrug it off like water off a duck's back. But eventually those words started to cut, and the more they started to cut, the deeper the cuts became, and the more I started to bleed inside, and the more I started to believe those words. And that is, yeah, sort of where my depression started from. And then I believe I was about 15 or 16 when I ended up first trying to take my own life, which thankfully is not something that I'm good at. But we do lose at least one dude every day to suicide and depression. So this is a very real subject. This is me getting very real with you guys. Once again, this is unscripted. This is just all unedited. This is just me. I've just chucked the camera on. I've got a fantastic frame now, thanks to someone special, and yeah, I'm gonna try and talk through this. But yeah, thankfully I didn't give up the music and drama, but I came very close to doing it many times. I did try to kill myself. Thankfully, I got found in time, and they they were able to do what they could to bring me back. And then things were starting to go well because then I changed to a unisex school, which I got to say, much better than a single sex school. First off, you actually learn how to talk to the opposite sex. Second off, you become friends with the opposite sex instead of them just being objects and all that. But what happened was, when I was about 18, I was on my mate's farm, and he had a tree, and I decided to climb it with some fireworks and fire them off. I was kind of like Wolverine with, you know, in between my fingers, and they were all going off. And then one bounced back, and I dodged it, forgetting I was in a tree, and fell. And I couldn't do this because obviously holding fireworks are still firing, and I landed on ground like this on one ankle that pretty much shattered the talar dome, which is the bone that goes into the leg and connects the foot to the leg. And so I ended up on crutches for 2 years after that. And when I finally got off crutches, that's when I ended up in a car accident where I lost part of one of my kidneys and ended up breaking my back. I got told I wasn't going to walk again. I did tell the doctor, "Fuck you, cunt. I'll be walking out of here," which I did about 8 months later. And then I was in a back brace for about a year. But all of that led up to another just bout of depression where I felt that it was a never ending cycle of pain, a never ending cycle of, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I won't be loved again. Like, who's going to love this dude that is just always broken? And so I ended up trying to take my life again a second time. I left a note for my parents and that on the door of the bus that I was living in, and I took as many pills as I could, and took a blanket and a pillow with my and went for a walk down to Double Lock Beach because in my mind I thought to myself, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go peacefully, and I want to go comfortably. Thankfully, on the way down, I did actually start thinking about all the people that would be left behind and all the people that I would miss. So I ended up making myself throw up, uh, which thankfully that saved my life. I did end up spending a few months in TPW, or the psych ward, or Te Pora Waiora, whatever you want to call it, and all that. But depression is, it's one of those things where it's like a monkey on your back. actually not even a monkey. It's a demon on your back that is always there. Like, you have happy days, you have sad days, but it can be caused by anything from, like I said, injury, from bullying, from stress, from being overworked, from people not understanding you. It can be caused from other things like your anxieties, and all that kind of stuff can lead to that kind of stuff. And it is something that we need to address. It is something that we need to, once again, donations up in the description, down in the comments, if you want to donate to my Movember page, because I will admit I'm actually been kind of depressed because the only donation that's come in the last couple of weeks has been from one person. Thank you very much, Nicole. Uh, and before that, there were a few donations. We've gotten up to about 285. I kind of, maybe I set my sights too high, which is another thing that can lead to depression, setting your sights way too high, and not achieving the goals that you want to achieve, which is, yeah, one of those things that can lead to you feeling like a failure, and feeling like you're not doing enough, feeling like the world would be better off without you. And I want to say to all those that are suffering from depression and are going through this kind of stuff, that is not true. You are you are you. Yes, you are suffering, but just remember, you're not alone. There are a lot of us out there that are suffering from depression, which is once again why we need these donations, so we can get the support and the awareness, so that men that are going through this kind of stuff can actually have somewhere to go, somewhere safe, a safe space that they can come. Like, they don't even need to talk or anything, but just a safe space where they can be. And one thing I found when I was in the psych ward for 3 months was, uh, even though I think the ward itself wasn't that great, the experience for myself worked for me, because it gave me a break from the whole world. It, like, took me out of the whole bubble, out of the whole world, so that I could be for 3 months on the outside, looking in and reevaluating everything. Now, I still suffer from depression. There are things that still get me down, like on a daily basis, and I haven't in the last 15 odd years, I haven't been close enough to want to kill myself. Thankfully, very enough, because I am one of the lucky ones that have kind of learned, when I'm going down that path, how far down that path I can get before I start getting those thoughts, and things that I can do to try and bring myself back up. And look, telling people just walk it off, just meditate, it, that is not the answer. Everyone's got their own way of dealing with this kind of stuff. And one of the things with depression is you end up getting pretty good at hiding what is actually going on. So you'll be out, you'll be laughing, you'll be having a good time. Everyone has no idea what's going on. Then you go behind the closed doors, and that's when the darkness comes. That's when the tears come, and that's when everything hits. And that's when that demon is back in your ear, telling you you're not worthy enough, you're failing, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And we need to end the cycle. So if you do know anyone that suffers from depression, and that, please check in on them every so often. It doesn't need to be every day, but just like check in on them. Just make sure that they're doing it right, and make sure that you can provide them a safe space where they can rant, they can rave, they can punch things, they can throw things, they can get things out. And once again, if you are providing a safe space, because I always provide a safe space for my friends, which a lot of people have been using this. Okay, so first off, don't offer advice unless they ask for it. Let them just let them their things out. Sometimes they just need a shoulder to cry on, and someone to tell them that they are worth more than what they think. So I'm getting a bit teary-eyed talking about this, because this is a very, very real subject, and a very touchy subject. And as I said, we lose a dude every day to depression and to suicide, and we need to stop this. So all I'm asking for you guys is understanding when it comes to the frame of mind that some people are in, and also to just please check in on your mates. Like, just check in on them. Just like I said, doesn't have to be every day, just every so often check in and like ask them, like, what's going on, all that. Or even just let them just talk. Just let them talk. Don't try to talk over them. Just let them talk, because sometimes even just getting it out can be enough to stop that demon talking so loud, and quieten that demon voice. Because that demon that demon is a real demon, and it affects so many people. And once again, I know this is about men's mental health, and a lot of people are in the idea that, oh, they're men. They're supposed to be men. They're supposed to just walk it off. They're supposed to not be pussies. They're supposed to just handle it like a man. Just, ooh, kia kaha, motherfucker. That is not the way to be. So just support your friends, support your family, and hopefully we can get some more donations. Like I said, once again, in the description, in the comments, and well, actually, this is probably going to be on YouTube because this is quite a long one, so it'll be in the description. But on Facebook, it'll be in the description and in the comments. But ladies and gentlemen, please just remember, depression and suicide is a very real thing, and it is something that we need to address, and we need to make sure that we can lessen the pain and the demons that are talking to these people, and we just be kind to each other, just be there for each other. As I said, don't give advice unless asked for, and just be there for your bros, because all of us bros, we need safe spaces so that we can talk about this stuff, because it is very real, and it's not just in the head. It is in the head, it's in the heart, it's in the body, it's in the whole soul, and we want to stop this. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope talking about my own experiences with depression and suicide, and then talking about what it actually is help you guys have a little bit more understanding. And once again, if we can get to $5,000 in donations, which at the moment it's not looking like it's getting anywhere near close to that, which once again has actually kind of affected my depression and made me feel like I'm failing as a person. So I'm going to change that down to 1,000. If we can get $1,000 into this, I will shave my head, because this is for a good cause, and I want to raise this money, and I want to raise the awareness. So like I said, check in on your mates, make sure they're okay, and please provide safe spaces for all of them. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay safe, don't be a dick, check in on your mates, and kia pai taho, kia koe. May the winds be in your favour. This is the captain out. Once he figures out where that stop button is, because it's kind of getting a bit hard to see. Well, I don't usually talk about this stuff with people, but I think I've found it. I think it's right here. Anyway, love you all, and remember, all of those out there, all of the bros, if you need someone to talk to, call me. The amount of video calling that I do on a weekly basis for my friends that just need to vent, rant, rave, and just know that they are worth more than what they think they are. So do not be afraid to give me a call. Well, text me first to let me know that you're going to call me, so that then I can make a time so that I can talk to you, because I want to do what I can to help you, and I want to raise the funds so that we can help everyone, all the men in New Zealand, so that we do not have to keep going through this, because we do lose one dude every day to suicide, and that is one dude a day too many.